The 9-year age difference in Alvarez's favor. 1 inch of height advantage to Gomez.
El retador, the challenger, Alfonso Gomez. The reigning, defending, undefeated WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the world, Saul Canelo
Got your instructions in the dressing room? Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself. Touch him up and come out the bell.
That Alvarez will have the taste of defeat. You're gonna taste it.
Devoted body puncher. And unlike some fighters, Emmanuel, he will throw in combinations.
And I look at his boxing techniques, his jab.
And when you look at that body, I think they've made a very intelligent decision. Welterweight championship. This kid is not a welterweight. 7-0-1 at age 21.
Well, but with a very short.
Canelo. Incidentally, the word means cinnamon.
It looks like he has a real plan. We'll see.
Like the fact that Canelo fights often. 40-some fights already. I mean, he's been fighting often. And evidently wasn't big purses. And also, I like the jab. He controls the distance. And he does have a ride. Next time he'll roll underneath the punch.
To set up much. He's trying to here. That's good.
Emmanuel, the answer is 38 fights already. Not at all unusual.
Plenty of them.
Canelo starts to get the jab going. And down goes Alfonso Gomez on a left hook.
Short.
Quick, short left hook. Great punch.
So much of the plans of mice and men.
Work that jab. Relax, nothing happened, nothing.
In a very close
Well,
fight.
and Sugar Ray Leonard famously knocked down Benitez.
With his left hand. He draws his right hand to the side of his face, which means it's very easy to hit him. Punch was sort of going around the top. He went through the center.
One punch to the body.
With a good body punch is going to end up going right on the top of the cup.
You think that was deliberate? Because
yes. Sonny with a punch.
That's what happened to Roy to build confidence off the fact that an undersized saying, be patient, stick with it. Nothing happened. That sounded to me like don't abandon the plan. Perfect.
Yeah, but again, Gomez seems to be winning the first half of the round.
Watching Canelo Alvarez that Saul Alvarez went down in the first round. Again, Cotto knocked Alvarez down.
Like getting knocked down.
Under the ropes with a straight left hand shot. His right hand was by good body shot by Gomez there.
Then does Alvarez.
There's one of those
Alvarez is going to the body, but if you look at the location punches have been all to the outsides.
Harold Letterman gave the second round to Alfonso Gomez.
Pointed out to the referee.
An undersized fighter, Jose Cotto, a natural 140-pounder, who was fighting Alvarez in the round one.
Yeah, it was almost a freak knockdown.
Wide, thinking of the grinning and the smiling and the slapping hands with fans as he came into the ring. I wonder.
Is unusual in prize fights.
In other words, if you had
the punch that Tom would knock, he started off with a looping left hand, and Roy put his hand to block it, his right hand too far to his right. And whenever,
as I mentioned, for Canelo Alvarez, often featuring more than one.
To hit him and do anything effective to his body. He's got one of those cups extremely high.
So his fights are going to be rough.
Yes, but right now he's got a lot of good defensive skill.
I wonder if he has a cold focus tonight. Now he starts to behave more aggressively. Alvarez is a little bit bewildered by the timing and the activity of Alfonso Gomez.
We need to return punches, particularly through the center. Upwards.
He did get knocked down, so Canelo gets a 10-8 round.
Spector didn't do his job.
Correct.
Alvarez.
And he hasn't found a way to effectively get to Gomez.
Good right hand by Gomez.
One thing, his volume of punches is too low.
A lot of people are going to point to that as a question mark. as they get ready
I'm
to fight.
surprised that Gomez at this stage, I'll be honest, he's fighting a much better fight than
Active fighter. Gomez throwing more punches. Gomez landing at a reasonable enough rate. In uppercuts in this round. Looks as though he's decided that he can get up the middle by coming up and under.
I mean, Oscar De La Hoya was knocked down twice in his first 7 or 8 fights.
Fake him straight shots, and if he comes in, just give your guard up.
28-28, so it's all even. Well, I think
He
Canelo
gave the last round to him and take the knockdown away from the first round. He might be up 2 rounds.
Well, Harold let him.
Meaning Alvarez.
Well, clearly he has done his homework.
And Mayweather, based on the responses of Floyd
staying low. Now look how low he stays and landing really well to the body. Larry, to answer your question about the cup, the inspector in the dressing room
against Gomez.
I think that's what he's going to have to do. Gomez has his legs so far.
I take to be a relatively high contact fighter. And I think right now,
yes, he has.
We surmise that he likes Cortez as a referee and is surely pleased with his assignment. Harold, how do you have it so far?
For him to sustain a good combination of punches.
He's supposed to make sure that the fighter's cup, the top of the cup, is even with the belly button.
I can take some chances.
But Gomez is still not a puncher, so I mean, I think he feels very comfortable in there, even though Gomez. And even when he shoots the uppercut, he very seldom does.
He's throwing with abandon when he lets that uppercut go, particularly forefront of the fight. Gomez.
That's when he's really virtually.
Which he is.
Crazy he is. About 3 rounds. If he would jab more, would set up things better. But he's just waiting on Alvarez feel that he's in any danger at all in this fight.
I'm sure he's not worried at all about Gomez's punching power. The question is, why isn't Alvarez throwing more?
Totally abandoned his jab.
Meanwhile, Gomez has put together the best and most comprehensive plan I've ever seen from starting the fight they might have hoped for. And you can see that Canelo Alvarez ended the first round by knocking Gomez down. Putting together a pretty interesting variety of punches at the end of that combination.
Rolling punches and waiting on one big knockout punch. In the meantime,
and Gomez's punches lose their snap as he's on his back foot for the moment. Alvarez clearly believes he's the stronger fighter as he stands against the ropes. Well, a primary feature of a normal Canelo plan would be to get in enough body shots to win.
If he doesn't think
there's a good uppercut.
He's at least in
ensuing rounds and taking the lead in the fight. Doing to Alvarez some of what he did to Arturo Gatti at the end of Gatti's career.
He's landed some clean.
Alvarez has been very sporadic with his jab.
Guadalajara originally. But Gomez came to
he's having a tough fight with Gomez. Gomez may be winning this fight.
It's less likely he can get that done. Fights Gomez in.
And Gomez seems to think I can see some danger. Then he doesn't know what's going on. And he has a sense of urgency right now.
We've begun following Canelo Alvarez that we've ever seen him lose 3 rounds in a row on any scorecard.
Well, right hand. The U.S. when he was a child, he's now a citizen. And he fights more like an American fighter in a way.
Crowd trying to eliminations together again. That was a solid shot. Reminiscent of round 1.
Be careful with those counter punches because you're going a little bit crazy and he can catch you. You got to throw more punches.
Halfway through the last round, it seems to begin righting the ship with more authoritative punching. Watching live action in Staples Center in Los Angeles.
And I'm very surprised the fact that he is really, for the most part, set.
He lands his jab. Alvarez falls short with his twice in a row.
This is a fight, and the busier of the 2 fighters.
Another short jab for Alvarez, but now he connects. Gomez in the white. This the last preliminary bout before our main event of this pay-per-view telecast. The place from which we're calling the fight on a television monitor.
Gomez fighting a gutsy, smart fight.
And by Canelo up and under, and then a big right. Gomez is badly hurt. Canelo's got a chance to finish, and the referee's gonna stop it right away. Too quick.
Too quick.
Gomez was not out of there yet. Canelo may have been headed toward the stoppage, but that was too quick.
Agreed.
2 minutes, 36 seconds, round number 6 for your winner by KO victory, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, he's a good counter puncher. And I felt like I was still able to continue. The referee looked for a reason to stop it and he found it. I was going to be able to continue, but you know, he's a great fighter. He hits pretty hard, and you know, I think that fight was pretty even.